Okay, so we wake up Sunday morning and we're sitting in a pretty good position in the competition. We're leading the competition. We've had a 6th place overall in autocross. So we're looking pretty good, but we had a great design and engineering.
Fortunately, the car kind of speaks for itself.
One of the judges yesterday said that he doesn't like Evos necessarily, but he likes our Evo.
It's the same, only different.
Every nut and bolt on that car has been touched and changed.
Dressed everything up with carbon fiber accents, these red accents to match. The puke tank is, billet. Everything's a bigger radiator, bigger intercoolers, everything's different.
And it's not real expensive things, We did a Showtime logo stitched in the carpet of the trunk. I could have left it stock and it would have looked stock, and a judge would have passed right on by it, but no, that grabs your eye. He focuses on the trunk and he looks at our carbon dipped battery box, and it's just, and that cost, what, $20 to do?
Hopefully I can do a little selling, and hopefully the Evo can do a lot of selling.
You get 2 minutes.
All right, well, let's start at the front here.
It's a typical walk-around presentation if you were selling a car. You start at the front bumper, work your way to the driver's side door, talk about the interior, and finish at the trunk. It's that simple. And talk about all the things that have been changed, the engineering things that have been changed, the detail points that have been changed, and why it's so nice. Now, we finished 2nd, 99 points again. So that's 4 events in a row where we scored 100, 99, 99, and 99. So just testament that, you can't ignore that category. It's in the rules. It's part of the competition. If you purely focus on putting go-fast parts on your car and ignore everything else, you're just gonna get beat. Now, and I know there's a lot of people who are disappointed with their score, but you know what? Deep down inside, I know that they can do more when it comes to that part of the competition. And so, I thought, well, who knows, maybe we'll podium at this event. And now the scores came in from D&E and we're back in the hunt, big time. We're sitting in the catbird seat. We do well in design and engineering. We do well in the road rally because, that's automatic. If you finish it, you get 100 points. Everybody does. Speed stop is critical for us because we know our car is really, really good in that event. If we do poorly there, we're out of it. We cannot give up points there like we did in the autocross today. We lost 3 points yesterday. And 3 points is a win or lose situation when it comes to championships, when it comes to the event. And then, hope that we can finish in the top 5 overall on the road course, which is going to be really, really, really tough to do because Danny absolutely will be the fastest. DuSold's car is hooked up and he's driving it really fast. And, it's got gobs of horsepower and it's 100 pounds lighter than we are. So, that car is going to be really fast on the road course. Bryan Johnson's really fast on the road course. Curley, really fast. So there's 4 right there. Jeremy Swenson, really fast in his Corvette. So for us to finish in top 5 is really a tall order. It's tough, So we're going to do our best. This is our home track. I know this track really well. I think the Evo's up to the task, but we'll see. We just got to go do it. Our day started off as, we do our reconnaissance laps around the racetrack. That's to make sure your transponder works well, and it gives you a good warm-up behind the pace car on how your car is going to feel out there. Now, it's pouring rain, so it's great for an Evo. We have all-wheel drive, we have ABS, so all those things that you need and tricks that you need to make the car handle well when the weathers are inclement. You got rain all over the track, and this car is going to perform well and provide the most grip possible. But the problem is that, that meant our speed stop was also in the rain, and that's where we started. We started at the speed stop before our race session started on the track.
A year ago, we were in New Jersey. It was cold and rainy, small speed stop, small autocross, and this car was really, really fast in the wet. In fact, it outran a lot of people, most of the people in the dry.
We got 2 runs in on the speed stop in the rain, and we were looking pretty good. In fact, we were leading at one point. Well, it's wet out right now, so, you know, did 4 runs and we got a couple that stuck good, so we just have to wait for it to dry out now because we're not going to go any faster. Yeah, one of the things about NCM is it's very intimidating. It's very demanding as well. It takes a lot from the driver and a lot of concentration. You have to think way ahead of the car. You drive around the track, you know, it takes a lot of concentration. And if you lose that concentration, if you break that concentration and you spin out, there's guardrails waiting to meet you. So it really takes a lot of guts to push it hard there, and you have to have a lot of confidence in the car underneath you. And that's what NCM brings. You know, after our first session out on the road course with the Evo, I knew we had a good car under us. You know, when we ran NOLA, the car was wicked loose and we did not have a good handle on that car. And as a driver, if you don't feel confident that the car is going to stay under you when you're pressing it hard around the track, you know, it's really just not a good, confident feeling. But when we went out in our first session, the car felt great, it handled great, performed well. So I was pretty excited for a second session to come, and I knew I could really push the car hard and push it to its limits. Well, there was only one lane open. All the other parts of the track were wet, so you really had to be cautious and be careful and not to get offline. Otherwise, you're going to go sliding off into the guardrail. So, you know, it worked out good. We were 4th overall after we came off our session, so, you know, things were looking really well. We weren't able to get any dry runs in on the speed stop, so our second session of the day came up out on the racetrack, and the track was dry, so it was really time to turn up the volume and really go as hard as we could to get in our best lap that we could. my goal was to finish in the top 5 out on the road course. We went out there and laid down the best time that I've ever laid down out there. You really only get one lap when you're driving on street tires on a road racetrack because they overheat. So you get one shot at it, and luckily NCM's my home track and I was able to pull the trigger and we finished 5th overall. So you know what? Things were looking good. We got in line for our speed stop in the dry. We were able to get one run in, and unfortunately we coned on those runs and weren't able to improve. Then the heavens opened up and it rained and it rained and it rained. You know, when you're scratching for every point, you know, lap times matter. And Jordan Priestley showed up in his brand new C7 Grand Sport Corvette, and he beat us on the road course by a 1/10 of a second. And you know what? That was the place that we needed. That was the point that we needed to win the event. So it's that close. It's that close, and you really got to try your hardest. Now, could we have made that up? Maybe, but we'll never know because it rained and it rained and it rained and washed the rest of the day out. So when you have your chance, you got to make it stick.